It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be podsmacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Here is Rob Carson. How you doing? Welcome to episode number 231 of the podcast, also known as the 4th of Janvier on Liberty One TV. Thanks for joining me, guys. Do really appreciate it. A lot of great things happening in the career and in the life, and I hope your life is going well in 2018 as well. And how many times are you still writing 2017 or typing 2017 when you send email? I am. It's weird, kind of weird, but anyway, welcome to the show. If you are listening on iTunes or iHeartRadio or TuneIn or FM Player FM or Google Play or Google Plus or YouTube, all of those things, thank you for checking it out. And again, Liberty One TV, guys. You're really the best. I'm so proud to be a part of the team. Joe Biggs, Rusty Humphreys. We got a lot of great talent here, and I just can't thank you enough for how much this thing is growing. So we appreciate it. Now, here's what we're going to get into tonight. We're going to talk about this new book. The media is going bat guano crazy. They're convinced Donald Trump is over. He's done. That the Russia investigation is settled. Donald Trump is going to jail. Donald Trump is Donald Trump Jr. Is committed treason and all this stuff, and don't be afraid of that. This book is a piece of crap. This book is if you took the Weekly World News, which used to be a tabloid paper, it's like with the most salacious tabloid paper you could. My hair is really sticking out here. Holy hell! There you go. You took the most salacious tabloid and made it into a book. It's like a Kitty Kelly book. It's like a Kitty Kelly book. It's a POS. So don't get too worked up about it. I know a lot of people get worked up about it. They're thinking, "Oh my God, the Trump presidency's over" and all that. Not. We're gonna share you a lot of audio, a lot of thoughts, a lot of excerpts, a lot of absurdity about this thing. So hang out, do whatever you're doing, and write me, please do. So, boy, the economy's just sucking, isn't it? I mean, wow. All the predictions by people like Paul Krugman, they were right, man. Donald Trump is destroying our economy. Yeah, it's just, honestly, if we would have had another year of Obama, everything would be great. But right now, what? Sorry, I have somebody talking in my ear. Oh, I'm sorry. The economy's kicking ass. It's kicking ass. Donald Trump will have a full year of GDP growth above 3%. Probably above 4% in the fourth quarter. U.S. private sector added 250,000 jobs in December, an estimate versus the estimate, what they thought it was going to be, 190,000. So you got a good 25% over what they expected. Companies hired 250,000 new workers to close out the year, well above Wall Street expectations. Month was the best for job creation since March and topped the 185,000 mark in November, a number that was revised by over 5,000, or to lower, I should say, by 5,000. So that's not a big deal. Total payroll growth as gauged by ADP and Moody's. Are you ready for this? Payroll growth for the year, 2.54 million people. Thanks, Obama. Here's some interesting things. Professional and business services led the way with 72,000 positions. No, that's burger flippers, right? Isn't that burger flippers? It's going to be burger flippers. No, man, professional and business services led the way. That's big. That's big. Education and health sector rose next at 50,000. Trade, transportation, utilities, 45,000. Wall Street-related payrolls grew about 19,000. The information services sector was the only one to lose jobs, reporting a drop of 4,000. Not sure what that is. Is that media? By size, business between 50 and 499 employees added 100,000 jobs. Now, these are the people who were afraid to go over 49 employees because they'd have to provide their employees health care under Obamacare. And it kept businesses from going to 50 employees. They're going to stick at 49. And they were going to keep them under 30 hours. Businesses between 50 and 499 employees added 100,000 jobs. Small firms hired 94,000. Large companies, 56. Small business is rocking. Small business is kicking butt. Wow. Service-related companies were responsible for the balance of the jobs with 222,000 new hires. Goods-producing industries added to the rest, with construction going by 16,000. This is big, guys. 2.45 million jobs added. Again, thank you, Obama. I mean, why did it just have to wait until you left office to kick in? Isn't that amazing? Oh, it's better. We got other stuff. You ready for this? Number of Americans relying on SNAP food stamps declined by more than 2 million in 2017. That's pretty amazing. People getting back to work. Been there on the food stamp thing. The decline continues a 4-year trend as participation has fallen off by 9% since reaching a historical high at 213,000. Fiscal year 2016, there were 44 million. Anyway, it's down 2 million. Now, about let me see here. 2,036,920 dropped from food stamps. So there you go. The average individual SNAP recipient receives $125 a month, costing taxpayers $58 billion. Would you like to hear a little bit more good news? Okay, I'll give you some good news. Well, U.S. employers announced plans to cut 34,423 jobs in December, bringing this year's total to a low not seen since 1990. So job cut announcements, the lowest they've seen since 1990. And if I'm not mistaken, that would be 27 years ago. So fewer businesses are having to cut back. More businesses are hiring. Manufacturing going through the ceiling. Dow Jones Industrial Average traded above 25,000 points for the first time this morning, Thursday morning, breaking another 1,000-point milestone. The market was rising broadly after survey showed strong hiring by U.S. businesses. Standard & Poor's 500 index climbed 12 points or 0.5%. Dow Jones reached 24,000 on November the 30th, 23 days ago. Now it's above 25. My dog just came in. Hello. What are you doing in here? What are you doing in here? This is Zoe. Hi, Joe. Hi, Zoe. Hi, Zoe. Hello. All right, if you're listening and not watching, you won't understand, but I've got the cutest American Eskimo dog sitting right behind me. This will increase the views. All right, keep the dog staying here. The dog is going to stay. All right? Okay. Now, where has some jobs disappeared? Federal government jobs. Oh, yeah. More and more of the president's campaign promises have come to fruition. The latest was his promise to significantly shrink the federal bureaucracy. Over the course of the first year in office, he did so, 16,000 jobs. 16,000 employees at various agencies. And by the way, those people, get 70% more than the rest of us as far as salary and bennies. They just do. So there you go. And fortunately, there are enough job openings in the private sector. Those people who are leaving government as bureaucrats with bloated pay packages and benefit packages, they'll have something else to do. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right, let's get to some other stuff. Let's talk about this book. This book. Fire and Fury, Inside the Trump White House. It took less than a year for a book to be written, and literally, I bet the interviews were probably done in the first few months of the Trump presidency, and there's also a book out. There's already a book out called Fire and Fury, Inside the Trump White House. And this is salacious and stupid. Salacious and stupid. Written by Michael Wolfe. Listen to this. In the first days of the White House, a paranoid president gave a very specific order that the housekeeping staff not touch anything in his room, especially his toothbrush. Da, da, da. Trump's cleaning staff rules went a little bit further than that. According to the Tome, he reprimanded housekeepers for picking his shirt up off the floor, telling staff, if my shirt is on the floor, it's because I wanted it on the floor. Really? Is anybody going, oh my God, that is so big? Shut up. I honestly, of all the things you could have in a book, and listen, Hillary Clinton threw crap at Bill and screamed and yelled at the Secret Service and berated the staff, and it never became a big deal. Never became a big deal. It's not a big deal when it's Hillary, right? Not a big deal when it's Hillary. He said here, he told the cleaning crew that he would alert them as to when he needed his sheets cleaned and opt to strip the bed himself. It's probably because he has those prostitutes from Russia and they're pissing all over it. You know, isn't that what happened? Hired some prostitutes to pee on the bed that he was going to sleep in, and because the Obama slept there. Wolfe also says that Trump added a lock to his bedroom door. Oh, my God, really? He's the president. For the first time since the days of the Kennedy White House, he maintains his own sleeping quarters apart from wife Melania. Well, and I was talking about this on the radio this morning in Atlanta. He and his wife have crazy different sleep schedules. Crazy different sleep schedules. So that's not a big surprise. Yeah, it's not a big surprise. I sleep in the guest bedroom most of the time because I snore. If Trump was not dining with former chief strategist Steve Bannon at 6:30 in the early days of this presidency, he would retreat to his room where he would eat cheeseburgers in bed while watching 3 televisions. That's nothing weird. That's a weekend when your wife's out of town. That's a weekend when your wife's out of town. Except for, I'd have like Independence Day on one. I'd have like, Shawshank Redemption on one. And maybe Forrest Gump on the other. You know what? That's what I'd do. So there was this meeting. Donald Jr. took a meeting with Russian lawyer Natalia Veselinskaya. Did it. Nailed it. June 2016, after an intermediary promised material that would incriminate Trump's Democrat rival Hillary Clinton. Now, you'll recall that Trump, Paul Manafort, and Jared Kushner rolled their eyes and left the meeting because there was nothing substantive there. She was a lawyer. Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, then campaign chairman Paul Manafort attended. Now listen to this. This is the quote from Steve Bannon that is so damning. The 3 senior guys in the campaign thought it was a good idea to meet with a foreign government inside Trump Tower in the conference room on the 25th floor with no lawyers. Even if you thought that this was not treasonous or unpatriotic or bad SHIT, and I happen to think all of that, you should have called the FBI immediately. So he is admitting that it was treason. Treasonous. No, not really. Was not treasonous. That's a load. I want to get into what an incredible load it is, but I want you to listen to the breathless reporting by NBC on this story. Here's the first part of a report this morning on NBC News.
New claims from Steve Bannon insisting that controversial 2016 Trump Tower meeting between the president's son and a group of Russians was treasonous and unpatriotic, noting Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, and Paul Manafort, all in attendance, should have called the FBI immediately. Did the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., commit treason?
I think that is a ridiculous accusation.
It is.
Bannon, who didn't join the campaign for another 2 months, asserts there's zero chance Trump Jr. didn't introduce his Russian guest to his father.
Now, that is pure speculation. If there was a quote that would mean anything, it would be Donald Trump Jr. did introduce the woman to his father.
They're going to crack Don Jr. like an egg on national TV.
Haven't done that yet.
Bannon warns. The White House has said the president first learned about the meeting a year later. Trump today fuming.
I think furious, disgusted would probably certainly fit when you make such outrageous claims and completely false claims against the president, his administration, and his family.
The president unloading in an extraordinary, blistering statement. Steve Bannon has nothing to do with me or my presidency. When he was fired, he not only lost his job, he lost his mind.
Well, okay. There you go. But again, NBC is just going bananas. Now, here's the thing that I brought up this morning, and I want to bring up with you right now. Steve Bannon has been the most demonized person since the campaign. Steve Bannon was with Breitbart. During the campaign, when Steve Bannon joined the campaign, the media went crazy. They called him white supremacist. They called him a Nazi. Okay? Oh, you don't believe me? How about the White House Correspondents' Dinner early in the presidency? White House Correspondents' Dinner. There's a guy from Comedy Central named Hassan Minhaj. I don't know who the guy is, but here's what he said when he introduced Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon is the reason Donald Trump dog whistles to racists. And that is just not true. Ask Steve Bannon. Is Steve Bannon here? I do not see Steve Bannon. I do not see Steve Bannon. Not see Steve Bannon. Not see Steve Bannon. Nazi Steve Bannon.
It's not funny. First of all, it's not funny. You don't call someone a Nazi unless they're a Nazi. It's not appropriate. It is an insult. It is inferring that someone is a murderous, Jew-hating, what the Nazis are. And that's just not even funny. But that's what it's been. The media has called Steve Bannon. They wrote him off. He's a Nazi. There are Nazis in the White House. I've heard it countless times. Impeach 45, impeach 45, impeach 45. There are Nazis and white supremacists in the White House. That's just, honestly, sickening. It's sickening. That would be like saying that in the White House, when Barack Obama was in the White House, that there were ISIS terrorists in the White House. I could make a joke there, but I'm not going to. It's just not funny. And it's not appropriate. And by saying that, it means that if you voted for Donald Trump, that you endorse Nazism and white supremacy, and nothing could be farther from the truth, and you know that as well as I do. Here's a little bit more from the NBC report, and this is, of course, one of the most damning charges I just told you about.
The author also airing dirty laundry about the president's unusual habits and demands at the White House, reprimanding the housekeeping staff for picking up his shirt, saying, "If my shirt's on the floor, it's because I want it on the floor."
Why did that even make it into the book? Are they like double spacing this, using like Arial 22 as far as the type is concerned? That line would make it into the shirt or into the book. That line is, people are going, if I don't pick up the shirt, if I want it on the floor, I want it on the floor. Oh my God. It's not like he's Howard Hughes pissing in milk bottles, watching movies all day. Everybody's got quirks. You got quirks? You have any quirks? Let me think if I have any quirks. I've got some quirks. My wife has more quirks, more diet quirks, like when I make food for her. She's got some quirks. It does kind of bother. I used to be a little bit OCD. A little bit OCD, not crazy OCD, a little bit OCD. I like to have my silverware, here, plate here, glass here, and I liked it to be straight. And my wife used to she'd go over and she'd flick one of my forks to the side, and I'd be like, oh, man. Another thing, here's another quirk. If I'm laying on a couch and I'm just chilling, watching TV or whatever, and there's a couch cushion sticking or a chair cushion sticking out a little bit, or there's a drawer in the kitchen that's slightly open, I can't just sit there and just let it be out. So there you go. Oh, my God. Oh, he's crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm cray-cray. That's what they call it now. That's what the kids are calling it now. It's cray-cray. Actually, I'm sure cray-cray is already over. Looney Tunes. What? I don't know. All right. Sam Nunberg was a Trump campaign advisor. He was on talking to S.E. Cupp. Oh, S.E. Cupp. On, what is she? She's on MSNBC, right? Yeah. And she talked to him about the book. Here are a couple things he had to say. Again, inside the Trump camp, Sam Nunberg with S.E. Cupp.
He apparently told you. Is that true? Did he tell you he didn't plan to win?
No, it's not. Well, what I was telling Michael was a story that in 2014, I was flying down with then Mr. Trump to New Orleans for the Southern Republican
Sorry, she's on Headline News.
Leadership Conference, and we were
S.E. Cupp. Sorry.
discussing his run, and he had already told me he was planning on running. And what I said to him was, 100 years from now, nobody's going to remember if you don't win the primary or the presidency who ran. Frankly, nobody was going to...
for a guy who didn't want to win, he certainly busted his ass. Now, what do you think about that? While Hillary Clinton took weeks off the campaign, didn't go to many flyover states. Donald Trump busted his ass. Does that sound like, and honestly, do you think this man who spent his entire life saying, never say can't, never give up, never rest, do you suppose that he really didn't think he was going to win? I don't think so.
Remember who was the president. But I'll tell you what, 100 years from now, when they're covering you, they're not going to be able to write that you didn't run. They're not going to be able to say you were a perennial tease. And the one thing I can guarantee you is that you were going to come out well out of this. I can't guarantee you'll win the nomination. That's very hard to do.
Yeah.
So did he say, I'm going to be famous and I don't even need to win? Was any of that true?
What he did say, what the president did say was, I won't come out badly out of this. I won't come out badly. He kept repeating that to me, and no matter what, we're going to have fun. What I find with Michael and with the quotes, and I sat with Michael at least 3 times from my recollection, is Michael takes the quotes and he puts them as direct quotes, but they're really paraphrasing what I said.
Now, if you've ever done an interview with somebody in media, in print, and I've done a number of interviews over the years, and I've had a number of articles printed about me. And you do the interview, and you get you see the final product, and you go, I didn't say that. That was not what I said. That happens all the time. And this, I believe, really happened a bunch in this book. A little bit more from Sam Nunberg, again, former campaign advisor for the Trump campaign.
I don't think he thought he was going to win until the end when he told a confidant of his, Roger Stone, he said, look, it's trending my way. And
now, nobody thought he was going to win. I don't believe you can say the amount of effort this man put into running for president that he didn't think he was going to win. I'm sure he had doubts. But I know the kind of person that Donald Trump is, because in some ways I'm like him. I never give up. I've had my ups and downs in the broadcast industry. In the last year, I said, never give up. Never give up. And I've had plenty of reasons to say, F it, I'm done. But I built the studio, and now I'm on a TV show. Yeah. So Donald Trump is not the kind of person, he would not have, if he thought he had no chance, he would not have continued in the race. He wouldn't have wasted the time. And by the way, also, the reason why he thought he would come out better in the end, because he got to build his brand. Donald Trump is a master at building his brand. And so I'm running for president. If I get to be president, I'm going to be the president. If I don't, I've had the opportunity to have every camera and every mic in the country and around the world on me for, however many months. And nobody really thought, only Ann Coulter thought he was going to be able to beat 16 or 15 other Republicans, but he did.
So his last 4 days, 5 days, I think he saw something there. And if you remember, he out-campaigned her, and he concentrated on certain states, and he pulled those states out.
I was there. I know how it happened. Okay. I'm just wondering if you're willing to say that this book is, rate it true, half true, mostly true, some true.
I'd rate it half true on the specific examples.
Okay.
Mostly true overall, that I don't think...
on the gist.
On the gist of it, I'd say mostly true. I do not think that the president thought he was going to win the campaign. He did think...
We've heard that, though. We've heard that before.
Essie, he did think that he had a very good chance, especially with that large field where he had to get a plurality, that he could win the primary.
And he surprised us all. Let's face it, you were surprised, right? You were surprised. I was surprised. By the way, Trump's lawyer has filed a cease and desist. Wednesday night threatened imminent legal action against Bannon. And this is all about violating a non-disclosure agreement. That's what it was. Bannon had violated a non-disclosure agreement and signed it. And he disclosed confidential information. And a lot of people apparently did. Also, this guy, his attorney, Charles Harder, suggested that Bannon told lies that defamed and slandered Trump. Says you have breached the agreement by, among other things, communicating with author Michael Wolfe about Mr. Trump, his family members, and the company, disclosing confidential information to Mr. Wolfe, and making disparaging statements, and in some cases, outright defamatory statements to Mr. Wolfe about Mr. Trump. So, and I want to tell you, this book is going to sell. It's just good. It's going to sell like hotcakes, man. There's a book out that talks about the presidents, and you would not believe how different the treatment of Bill Clinton is versus Donald Trump, and I'll get to that in just 1 second. I do want to mention my sponsor, boom, right here, Dots Pretzels. Dots Pretzels are fantastic. They're the best pretzels I've ever had, and I'm a foodie. I've got dozens and dozens of cooking videos on the web. I've been cooking for a very long time. I like to say that We may disagree on politics. We won't disagree on ribs unless you're a vegan, and in that case, you have an eating disorder. But I know good food. I know good products. And I would have never had anything to do with Dots Pretzels. I was at a winery with my wife a few months back, and then I hear there's the guy who owns Dots Pretzels. I don't know who Dots Pretzels. I don't know what it is. I go over, I introduce myself to him, and he says, we're doing pretzels. We were out of Dwight. Dwight's his name. And Dwight, he said, hey, let me run out to my truck, and I want to set you up. I want you to try these pretzels. So he goes out. He's got a big old F-350. Something like that. Maybe it's a big old Silverado. I don't know what the hell the thing was. But he gave me some pretzels, and I brought them home, and Kelsey, my wife, said, these are the best things, Rob. I said, okay, whatever. We'll see when we get home. And I tried them, and holy crap. I mean, holy crap. They make the pretzels that you buy in the bag on the shelf taste like pretzels. Pretzels. Bleh. Pretzels are okay. Pretzels, you have to put mustard on. Pretzels are, they're okay. I'm not nothing bad against pretzels. These ain't your average pretzels right here. Order some of these Dots Pretzels and tell you heard about it on this show. With me, Rob Carson. Okay. John Vodoritz in the New York Post today, talking about the book today, said the word juicy hardly suffices to describe this book. Wolfe is a terrific writer who's had a lifelong habit of weaving in solid reporting with errant speculation and hard-gotten facts with feverish fancies in a manner that makes it true for a reader to separate what is true from what is too good to be true. For example, Wolfe quotes Trump as saying, "Who's that?" when Roger Ailes suggests he choose former House Speaker John Boehner as chief of staff. Please. Trump spoke and tweeted repeatedly about Boehner, and even golfed with the guy. Boehner was the most important Republican in Washington during the first 4 months of Trump's presidential bid. So it's a bunch of crap. Okay. Anyway. Remember the mooch? Anthony Scaramucci, do you do the fandango? Former White House communications director wasn't he communications director for about 12 seconds? He was on with him and MSNBC's Stephanie Ruhle about this, and he was a part of the campaign, and he was ultimately a communications director. Here's what the mooch had to say about the book.
Why are we taking it at face value? Why aren't you picking up the phone? People are referencing the book. I'm referencing the book. Why don't you pick up the phone and say, hey, did you say this? Did you not say this? And give those people an opportunity to speak for themselves. So what's happening is that book is being lifted. All the great juicy excerpts are being lifted to promote the book.
Yes.
But a lot of it's nonsense. Michael Wolfe, in many ways, wrote a nonsensical book. He's trying to say that the president didn't want to win the American presidency.
Does that make him a wolf in sheep's clothing? Okay.
He's trying to say that we all thought he was going to lose and we thought losing was winning. Stephanie, that is a bunch of total and complete nonsense.
Okay.
I was on the campaign. How about the night that the president flew from Pennsylvania to Michigan and got to Michigan at 12:50 in the morning, 24 hours before the election was over? He was putting everything on the field, to win the presidency.
And he did. He put everything on the field, and he busted his ass. So I don't worry about this stuff. And, yesterday I heard it, and so many times we as conservatives or maybe as, Trump supporters, and I was not originally a Trump supporter, but I am now. I like what he's doing. And if you don't understand why I like what he's doing, listen to the first 10 minutes of this again, okay? Listen to the first 10 minutes of this podcast. If you can watch the repeat here, watch it on Liberty One TV, watch it. All the fantastic economic news. This is glorious. It's like if you had a vase on a table with dead wilted flowers, and this represents the Obama administration, and you came in and you put a little Trump juice in there. That sounded weird. And all of a sudden the flowers went to life again. That's what we're witnessing here. I haven't heard a bit of bad. Have you heard any bad economic news in the last 12 months? Have you heard any big, bad economic news? Every month in the Obama administration, there was some sort of bad economic news. Southwest Airlines giving all their employees $1,000 bonuses, thanks to the new tax package. People getting bonuses, people getting raised. Some places you can't find enough people. I saw there were construction companies. They can't find enough people to fill the jobs they have. That's why I like Donald Trump. That's why I love it. And I said when he was running, he would run the country like a business, and everybody said you can't because the country is a bureaucracy and a blah, blah, blah. 19,000 federal employees. Baby. 1,000 regulations. Bye-bye. Business was bringing their factories. Come here, give me a hug. Come on back to mama. Or papa. So I don't worry about this stuff too much. And we've all had these things where we go, oh my God, what did he say? Oh my God, he said he grabbed somebody by the P word. I also said during the campaign, and no Republican has ever in the history, as long as I've been alive, would have ever weathered some of the things that Donald Trump weathered after he said stuff, whether it be Megyn Kelly bleeding somewhere, grabbing somebody by the P word, whatever. And none of it stuck, man. That's almost like being a Democrat. I like where this is going. I really do. And a little secret, I may have a job, a full-time job. I'll give you details on that. So maybe the economy's turning around for the broadcast industry. Okay. Ohio just passed a law that you cannot abort a baby because of a Down syndrome a diagnosis. Now, my wife and I have 2 kids. My son is 18, my daughter is 12. And both times during the pregnancy, we were asked by, nurse practitioner or the gynecologist or who the hell, I don't know anyway. So, we know you're this far along in the pregnancy, and do you want to know if the baby has Down syndrome? No, we don't. Do you want to know if the child has Down syndrome so you can kill it? What did you just say? Do you want to know if the baby has Down syndrome because we're going to kill it? What? No, we don't want to know if we, honey, right? We don't want to know if the baby has Down syndrome because we're going to go ahead and have the baby. I mean, what's the point in knowing about it now? We're not going to be able to really prepare much, and we'll find out when the baby's born. Really? Are you absolutely sure you don't want to do the Down syndrome test to kill the baby? No, we're fine. Actually, we'll go ahead and just have the baby. Okay, fine, whatever. That's what the test is there for. It is a test, and there are countries in the world that have almost eradicated Down syndrome, people with Down syndrome, and it's not because they're curing it. I made this point on the air last night. We are ending Down syndrome. It's like we are ending cancer. We have found a cure for cancer. We have and you know what the cure for cancer would be if you use the same logic as the Down syndrome thing, because all they're doing to get rid of Down syndrome is just killing the baby before it's born, and then hey, no baby's born with Down syndrome. Hey, victory! That'd be like saying we are curing cancer after people die. When you die, the cancer does too. Mission accomplished. That's what it's like. So there's a local preterm nonprofit organization called Preterm. They boast world-class abortion care. They put 16 billboards around Cleveland, which are just sickening to me. They contain the phrase, abortion is blank. And the billboard company, and they fill in the blank with these things. This is what abortion is. Now, most people would think, abortion is when you take a needle and you inject the baby with a lot of saline and it kills the baby. Or you take a little rotor-rooter in there and you shred the baby up and you suck it out with a vacuum cleaner. Or you wait till the baby is delivered and you snap the back of its neck with a pair of, like what's his name in Philadelphia did. That's what abortion is. That's what abortion is. But no. Not according to this billboard campaign. Abortion is safer than childbirth. Honey, I really don't want to go through labor. Let's just kill the baby. Abortion is a second chance. Well, not a second chance for the baby. Abortion is gender equality. Oh, my God. Where do you go? Not in China. Now, the girl babies are killed. Abortion is hope. Abortion is your right. It's your right. I mean, you are not right, but it's your right, apparently, according to these. Kind of disgusting. I had a couple things. Abortion is late-term birth control. Abortion is an abomination. I'm pro-life. Abortion ends a life. Abortion kills someone just like you in the womb. Abortion murders you in the womb. Democrat Missouri State Representative Bruce Franks Jr. protested during the Pledge of Allegiance. Before the start of the 2018 Missouri legislative session Wednesday, Franks stood with his fist raised during the pledge. Black power! Black power! Instead of putting it over his heart, according to local reports. Got to come up with some new material. That was from the Olympics in 1968. Franks told the AP he prefers to pledge allegiance to the people. Power to the people. Instead of the American flag, he added that black people from his area are disproportionately affected by a lot of things. Well, yeah, because there are a lot of ills in the black community. The breakdown of the family, abortion rate, crime rate, whole deal. Democrat lawmaker. Of course, he's a Democrat, and of course, his district is Democrat, and that's one of the reasons why it sucks so badly. Probably in St. Louis. He was arrested in November for leading an anti-Black Friday protest meant to shut down a local mall. Oh, he did that. This Black Friday protest, he's a member of Black Lives Matter. That makes sense. See, they were going to shut down. Black Lives Matter was going to, this is, so fantastic. Black Lives Matter, they were going to stop Black Friday. They were going to have you only shop at black businesses, and you were going to bring the economy to a screeching halt. Had the best year in retail in history. The best year, there's a little more good news there, folks. Best retail report in history. This guy's such a dick. Unbelievable. Month before that, he was among the 140 protesters who blocked the local highway as part of a protest against police violence. Franks rapped about shooting snitches and dismembering murder victims during his previous rap career. Here's some of the lyrics. I won't try to rap them. I off them if they snitch. I put shoddy in their body, send them straight to the reverend. I put them in a body cast, put them in a body bag, tie them to the bag of a Chrysler, then it's body drag. An N-word, speak my name, he will get slain. Okay, yeah, disproportionately affected by a lot of things. I don't know, maybe black guys murdering other black people. How about that? That's being affected. What a frickin'. I'm not going to go there. Oh, Philip Morris has given up cigarettes. You know this? You a vapor? You know, it's kind of funny because there are some states that are at municipalities not allowing vaping near buildings or in buildings whatsoever, even though there's nothing that comes out but water vapor in it, and maybe it'll be the smell of whatever you're smoking. It could be coffee flavored or what. I don't know. I don't vape. Philip Morris is going to stop selling cigarettes in the UK. They're going to do vaping. Our New Year's resolution, we're trying to give up cigarettes. So that's their thing. E-cigs. Maybe they should come up with e-cigarettes that don't explode in your pants. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. This is good. I got two stories. First story, the British Fertility Society published new guidelines Thursday calling on Britain's Department of Health to offer free egg freezing to transgenders so that they can have families. So you've got to pay for someone's freezing their eggs when they become dudes. Okay? National Health Service has a duty to offer free fertility treatments to transgenders who have a right to become parents, according to the Telegraph. The number of people coming forward with gender dysphoria has increased rapidly over the last decade. You can't call it that anymore. You can't call it gender dysphoria anymore. But here's the thing, though. I mean, if you're going to give up being a woman, don't you want to be a man? You know? It'd be kind of like, a man doing the surgery that happened to Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, freeze my penis. I want to keep it for later. Just put it in a to-go bag. Whatever. Yeah. Wales and Scotland both offer free egg freezing transgender. If you're going to cast off the gender, shouldn't you get rid of all of it? Shouldn't you? Right? Germany's top court has ruled that a transsexual woman whose frozen sperm was used to fertilize an egg can only be registered as the child's father. Federal court said Thursday it rejected a woman's appeal against a lower court ruling preventing her from being legally listed as the child's mother. The woman changed sex in 2012, and her partner gave birth to a child 3 years later, having used the plaintiff's sperm. Federal court concluded the transsexual person's fundamental rights aren't breached by the fact that existing ancestry law assigns her legal status of a parent according to her former sex and the specific contribution to procreation that resulted from it. And this is kind of weird. And maybe this is new for some of the younger viewers. If you have a penis that creates sperm with your testicles, that makes you a guy, makes you a male. That's the male part of the equation. Do we have to do this? Okay, hold on. Here's the little sperm. Here's the egg. And the egg is over here, and the egg is in the uterus in the woman. And the woman has a uterus because she's a woman. And I won't go into how the sperm got in the uterus, but you know, and here comes sperm. Here comes sperm. Here comes sperm and sperm and sperm. And there's the egg. And there's the egg. And baby. Was that good? I thought that was pretty good. If you want to use that, if you're trying to do the birds and bees talk to the kids, just use that. Here comes the sperm. Here comes the egg. Here comes do that. They'll like that. They'll love that. They'll love that. Hashtag Me Too. This is so funny. Hashtag Me Too. Caused by Harvey Weinstein and women in Hollywood by the hundreds knew this was happening, knew about Harvey Weinstein, let it happen anyway, didn't say anything, all that stuff. Harvey Weinstein's company didn't say anything. Nobody said anything. Democrats in Washington, D.C. didn't say anything. Everybody knew that he was all molesting and everything. So the women in Hollywood have decided they're going to take up their own movement, even though they completely ignored and avoided Harvey Weinstein and said nothing. It's a new movement called hashtag Time's Up. 300 women in Hollywood have organized this new effort to move beyond hashtag #MeToo and actually to expose and then prevent workplace misconduct. Time's Up plans to attack all workplace misconduct as well as a litany of social justice issues. Time's Up is a unified call for change from women in entertainment for women everywhere, the website says. From movie sets to farm fields. Most farmers are guys. To boardrooms alike. We envision nationwide leadership that reflects the world in which we live. Do you suppose movie sets, they want anything to do with the farm field people? No, not really. They want to address racial and gender inequalities. Their first effort will be to organize a dress code for the upcoming awards season to signal support for victims. Now, here's how they're going to do this. You ready? Male actors who've decided to join forces with their female peers who will protest sexual harassment by, what the men are going to do at the award ceremonies, the Golden Globes? Men are going to wear black. What do guys wear to formal events? Starts with a tux, ends in an Edo. And unless you're Tom Hanks and big, they're usually black. Not much of a stretch. How about a pink P-word hat? These guys should wear a pink P-word hat. I don't like using that word, by the way. Stupid. We're going to wear black to show our support. And we would actually wear black anyway. But, yeah, go women. Finally. Oh. A newlywed couple is suing the vendors they claim ruined their surprise vegan wedding reception by revealing to guests that they were eating an entirely plant-based meal. So this is what the vegans wanted to do. They wanted to have their wedding reception, have everybody enjoy the great meal, and at the very end, surprise, it was vegan, and it didn't suck. So they wanted to make the big reveal at the end of the meal, complete with servers putting out signs telling guests about the vegan fare they had just enjoyed. But the servers at this place blurted out to guests that they couldn't have soy sauce or cream for their coffee because those options weren't vegan, and that the bride had mandated a vegan reception. So people are asking for cream, they're asking for soy sauce, and what are you going to do? No, we're all out. Son of a gun. We're all out of soy sauce. We are all out of cream for the coffee. Could have gone almond milk, I guess. So they, of course, freaked out. Now, apparently the food sucked because it was vegan. Tofu was supposed to be crispy, but was instead served raw, and a curry dish looked merely like a bowl of vegetables. Well, isn't that what vegan food is, kids? Curry dish looked merely like a bowl of vegetables. Maybe there wasn't enough sauce on it. Because the curry dish, if you're a vegan, is a bowl full of vegetables. Extra heavy on the carrots without bamboo shoots. Those sons of bitches. Noodles in a pad thai dish were also extremely overcooked and didn't even have the bean sprouts as previously ordered. Who really wants the bean sprouts? Bean sprouts are okay. The sauce was horrific. It was sickeningly sweet. Well, pad thai sauce is generally pretty darn sweet if you've ever made it, and I have. So they're suing the place. Oh, by the way, one guest with celiac disease ate a Seitan or Seitan skewer. She thought was gluten-free. Was actually not left her very ill. So what a bunch of anal retentive douchebags. First of all, the couple, and then I need gluten-free and vegan and whatever. They're suing for $21,721 for each of the 7 counts of the breach of contract, $152,000 altogether. I don't like vegans. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like them personally. I just think that what they eat and what they demand makes them suck. I've had vegans in my home and had to try to make them happy, and it's just you just effing eat something without reading a label, without complaining about it, without whatever, and don't make your damn food about politics, because it usually is about politics. And another thing, real quick, say for instance you're at a how would you feel if you invited a bunch of people to your wedding and a lot of the people in the audience were vegan? And at the end of the meal, you said, surprise, we used chicken broth. Surprise, we used demi-glace made from beef. Surprise. They would go bat guano crazy. But, it's vegan. It's all vegan. Well, maybe I don't want effing vegan. Maybe I find it's offensive to eat something that's vegan. How about that? So stupid. Speaking of which, on my T-shirt line here, right up here, these right here, it is at teepublic.com/conservatives. There are a bunch of designs there, including veganism is an eating disorder. You can have that put on T-shirts. You can have it put on a bunch of stuff. There it is right there. If you're watching TV, boom, boom, boom. That's my veganism is an eating disorder T-shirt. I think that's wonderful. In the meantime, thank you for joining me today for episode number 231 of the Rob Carson Show podcast. Wish me luck. I've got a job possibly, and I hope this will finally end the drought. But I'm going to keep doing this, okay? On Liberty One TV. If you want to write me personally, guys, carsonontheradio@gmail.com, carsonontheradio@gmail.com. In the meantime, have a glorious day. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.